As I was browsing through the upcoming cute life sim games on Steam, I nearly missed Chef RPG, but the purple girl with bubblegum pink pigtails caught my attention, so I clicked on it. The detailed screenshots depicting gorgeous pixel scenery bursting with life were mesmerizing. Pixel graphics aren't normally my jam, as I geek out over cartoony 3D games. But Chef RPG's aesthetic piqued my interest, and I decided to dive deeper to learn what is Chef RPG about. I spent hours watching the developer's YouTube channel, Pixel Architect, and I'll sum up all the juicy details within a few minutes to help you decide whether to add this $20 September 12th early access release to your Steam library. So what kind of game is Chef RPG? Well, it's a restaurant revival game where you are tasked with helping the once famous restaurant La Sequoia put the town of White Ash Harbor back on the map. But similar to hybrid management games like Dave the Diver or Spirittea, part of your day is also spent gathering resources, hunting, which is optional, socializing, completing quests, adopting pets, and tending to a small greenhouse. So it's a layered gameplay loop offering a variety of gameplay mechanics from multiple genres. But what Chef RPG is doing differently to help alleviate boredom that may result from repetitive gameplay is to introduce two new elements: food critics and restaurant events. You'll have a whopping 240 recipes to choose from for your restaurant, and it appears you do have considerable autonomy over your restaurant's menu. And critics will occasionally stop by to evaluate your restaurant's progress. There are varying levels of critics depending on your level in-game, and critics thankfully will be notated with a special icon so you know whose ass to kiss. What's really cool is that the following day you'll receive a newspaper and can read a detailed article written by the critic about their experience in your restaurant. This will serve as somewhat of a tutorial to what you need to improve, so you'll probably want to read it carefully, even if it's bad.
Disgusting.
The second unique element is the event system, which involves special parties you'll be asked to hold for NPCs. Each event will request specific food, decor, and music, and the closer you adhere to the requirements, the more satisfied the guests will be, and the better rewards you'll receive, such as enhanced recipes and reputation. There's even a cute little microphone added for the event kickoff and farewell message to your guests, which illustrates excellent attention to detail on the part of the lead developer, Noah. Chef RPG has been Noah's passion project for the past 4 years, and from what I can see of the game, it radiates pure heart, soul, and determination to create something meaningful as well as entertaining. Noah is a former architectural designer and literally drew upon his scholarly experiences when crafting Chef RPG. The waterside town in Chef RPG has a retro cyberpunk style, whose building designs, colors, details, angles, lighting, and sunrise and sunset times that vary by season are all working together to create a rich atmosphere. I'd hang a picture of these scenes in my house. They're simply mesmerizing to gaze upon and appreciate all the details. What's especially interesting is that after I jotted down my note about the scenes looking like paintings, I watched Noah's video about the drawing techniques he used, and he would actually begin scenes by creating a standalone painting and then continuing from that, building a landscape with a cohesive style rather than individual assets crammed into the same space. This practice was something he learned as part of his architectural education, and not only makes me scrutinize and further appreciate all the nicely blended details, but also value the pixel art in Chef RPG even more. It's an enormous work of art masquerading as a video game, and I love the pixel details and animations. The characters also have unique styles bestowed upon them, such as the cute little droid from the thumbnail. You'll be able to develop relationships with the characters, send and receive gifts, and they'll be part of the quests too. And while we're talking about quests, Noah shared that the quest system in Chef RPG is modeled after that of RuneScape. The quests have a modular system with segments and aren't just simple fetch quests that so many games are plagued with. You might have to cook specific dishes, locate items, and take them to a different NPC to perform a function or service, and then deliver the finished product to complete the quest. So the restaurant management aspect is enriched by a massive recipe library, restaurant decor, food critics and events, and the quest system is engaging instead of superficial. But what about the other gameplay mechanics? Well, there is farming, but since Noah didn't want players spending all their time managing a gigantic farm, he created a modest greenhouse for players to tinker with growing the finest ingredients for their recipes. Or you can spend time catching fish, foraging for ingredients, or hunting them. It's up to you. From what I can tell, Chef RPG is already a very polished, unique, and beautiful early access game that will only age like fine wine as more content is added on the road to the 1.0 release. Noah mentioned eventually adding additional town areas, such as a corporate sector called Billboard City, features players' requests during early access feedback, and managing multiple restaurants, though I'm not entirely sure how many restaurants will have access to manage at launch, as the Steam page notates restaurants as plural. But as a big fan of Dave the Diver and the appreciation I've developed for the high-quality, beautiful pixel art buildings and scenes that Noah's created, I will undoubtedly purchase Chef RPG for my Steam library when it launches into early access on September 12th. But what do you think? Is Chef RPG your cup of tea, or are you going to ask for the check and keep looking for your new favorite cozy indie game? Let me know in the comments below. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.